Hi guys, it's Melanie. In today's video, we are going to be talking about setting powders that are going to help you prolong your makeup during the warm summer months, which we are just getting into right now in the Northern Hemisphere. I personally am someone who has extremely oily skin, so setting powders are a year-round thing for me. But I know a lot of you tend to just have normal oily or combination skin, and really the only time that you really need to make sure that you have a setting powder on is maybe during the spring and summer when the weather again starts to warm up just a little bit. So I will preface this by saying that none of these are drugstore. My choice of drugstore products is a little bit more limited now because I try to purchase cruelty-free, and for me that limits a lot of what I can try from the drugstore. I do realize that there are still brands available there, but I haven't found anything in terms of setting powders that has been great for my particularly overly oily skin at the drugstore. So these products are going to be a little bit more expensive. One of them is more expensive than the rest, but I would say they're, you know, kind of mid-ranged for the most part in terms of pricing. There are 2 pressed options for you and 2 loose options for you. So let's go ahead and let's dive into it. These are the products that I selected. I will have them all linked down below for you, so if you're curious, go read up a little bit more about them. I'm going to start out with the Tarte Smooth Operator Amazonian Clay Pressed Finishing Powder. I have the color light here. This is a beautiful setting powder. I know most of you are aware that I do wear powder foundation, and yes, I do top my powder foundation with an actual setting powder. I might do a specific video about how I do it and all the reasons and all of that stuff. I won't get into it here today, but suffice it to say that when I use this particular powder to top my powder foundation, I do notice that there is definitely an extension of the length of time that I can wear my makeup comfortably. I will usually only apply these setting powders one time, and that is in the morning when I finish my makeup. And then during the rest of the day, I might need to blot once around like 2 or 3 in the afternoon. But other than that, like, I'm golden and I have extremely oily skin. So these really, really work for me. This particular powder is a really nice, smooth consistency. It does come in several shades. So if you're not light and pasty like me, there are other options for you out there. I do believe that there might actually even be a lighter version than this. I'm not 100% sure, but it will of course be linked down below. The texture is really nice, doesn't clog my pores, doesn't feel heavy or cakey. I usually like to apply these powders with, let me have it pop up into frame here. The Zoeva Grand Luxe powder brush is the one that I tend to reach for the most. This is a nice powder brush. It does shed just a little bit and it's not the softest, but it applies powders like this perfectly to my face, so I like to use it for that. And yeah, this powder is great. Like I said, doesn't clog my pores, extends the wear of my makeup, and feels like $1 million on my skin, so this one's a winner. It also is a really great tone for me. It has a little bit more yellow in it. I find that a lot of setting powders tend to run towards like the beige or cool toned end of the spectrum. I don't like that because that just makes my face look orange. This does not. It's perfect. Let's talk about a powder option here in terms of a loose powder. This is the Laura Geller Universal Apricot Filter Fix Baked Correcting Setting Powder. This is the newest of the powders to me personally. I actually just recently did a review of this. I will link it down below if you missed it. This is fabulous, you guys. This does have a apricot tone to it. However, when you actually get this onto your skin, that goes away. It's essentially translucent is what I'm trying to say. This does have talc in it, so those of you that don't like using talc, stay away from that. This is a very smooth, almost silica-like feeling powder. This fills in my pores, it smooths out my skin, it takes care of any extra oil that pops throughout the day. It's fantastic. I would have to say that out of all of these, this is probably, I would put this at the top of the list for me personally, but I could see where some people may be put off by the apricot tone, but honestly, even though I have a lot of yellow undertones in my skin, this works beautifully for me. So I'm a fan, highly recommend this. We'll link this down below for you guys. Let's go back to pressed. This is the new Lorac Pro Blurring Translucent Pressed Powder. This only comes in translucent. It's going to look really light, but just know that it is translucent. So looks like this might be good for someone who has zero pigment in their skin, but this would actually be good for anyone from extremely porcelain fair all the way up to extremely deep. It really truly does just disappear into the skin. This is a very smooth, again, silicone type texture. This also helps to smooth out the look of my pores. This helps to take care of the extra oiliness throughout the day. It looks gorgeous on my skin. I love it. It's fantastic. We'll probably be repurchasing it in the future. I do prefer the pressed in terms of like being, this is easier to travel with. Let's just say that. Like this is something I would feel very comfortable putting in my purse. This does come with a little puff at the bottom, so this would be something great to touch up with. And I have touched up with this one throughout the day and used the puff and pressed it into my skin. Works beautifully. So I would say if you are someone who needs something for your purse, I would go for this Lorac Pro Blurring Translucent Pressed Powder. It's absolutely gorgeous, great for on the go. Again, helps to prolong your makeup. The most expensive, and the one that I would say, if you can splurge on it, but if you can't, this is just as good and it's way less expensive. But the By Terry Hyaluronic Hydro Powder is one that I absolutely adore, and I've told you guys about this product several times over. It's gorgeous. The packaging to me is not ideal. It does have a sifter. However, if you take off the little piece of tape that covers all the holes when you first get it, it does allow all of that powder to eventually spill through. So this isn't super travel friendly, but it's a beautiful powder, you guys. This is one that, once again, it looks white, but it goes on clear. This, again, gorgeous at filling in your pores, making your skin look almost airbrushed. This one also is, oddly enough, the most hydrating out of all of these. The powder is, there are hyaluronic spheres in here, which hyaluronic acid obviously helps to attract moisture to your skin. So I do feel like this is the one that is maybe the most gentle or universal for those of you that are maybe a little bit more on the dry combination end of the spectrum. So if you deal with dry skin and oiliness, this might be the one that I would suggest investing in for those of you if you'd like to use it all over your face. If you're just using it in the oily T-zone, you know, maybe one of these other ones would do. But these four won the Melanie seal of approval when it comes to having crazy oily skin. And, you know, in terms of prolonging the wear of your makeup, making your skin look smooth, filling in pores, and just, you know, more importantly, allowing you to get through more of your day without having to look in the mirror and going, oh, I'm so shiny. These are fantastic. Let me know what your favorites are down below in the comments. Let me know if you guys have any questions. All links will be in the description box. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you are new to my channel, please subscribe, and I will see you guys tomorrow. Take care. Bye.